if you're someone who suffers from a case of glossophobia, a fear of public speaking, this is a segment that may be for you. We are joined by public speaking expert Suzannah Baum. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
How common is this phobia?
Oh, it's extremely, extremely common, Camille. It's and the unfortunate part about it being so common is that there are so many people with a wonderful experience. They have expertise, they have brilliance, and they have gifts, and a fear of public speaking really holds them back from sharing this. Right. And aside from that, you know, when you can't speak, when you hold yourself back, you're not speaking up at work, you're not putting yourself out to speak at conferences, you're not allowing yourself to shine, and you're not allowing yourself to grow in that way as well.
So there are a lot of benefits to putting effort into overcoming this.
Definitely.
What do you think is the root of the problem, though? Why do you think, where does it come from?
It's fear of being judged, it's fear of embarrassing yourself, obviously fear of people laughing at you, fear of making a mistake. Fear, it's really fear, 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 but is the fear really an accurate fear, or is it something that we put on ourselves?
We always hear that the age-old advice, right, where people say, oh, when you get up there, just imagine the room full of people in their underwear. Huh. Does that work?
No, well, no, I don't know. You know, unless it wouldn't make you feel awkward to be presenting to a room full of naked people, I guess it could work, but it's not something that I like to play around with in my head when I'm on.
So then, as the expert, what is your advice to our viewers who are hoping that they can take something home from you today?
Well, you know, there's a few things that I would always suggest. First and foremost being practice. Really practice out loud. Say it to yourself, with your colleagues, your spouse, because it's really important to get yourself comfortable with the content. And there are many people who will feel that they don't want to practice because they don't want to look over-rehearsed. They don't want to look memorized. They want to get up there and wing it and speak from the heart. And I highly discourage this, because if what we're doing is trying to manage a fear of public speaking, you need to be as comfortable as you can when you get out in front of that audience. And the way to be comfortable is to be comfortable with your content and what you're going to say, so that you don't have to worry about that in front of the audience.
Okay, so you're saying that you should know your content, you should rehearse, but I personally have found that memorizing does kind of, it messes with me, you know, because have you noticed that sometimes, that memorization does get in the way?
You know, if it's a really long speech, it's almost impossible to memorize that.
Right.
And there is a difference between memorizing and practicing. And it's not to say that by practicing so often you have to memorize the speech. It really just means you need to get comfortable with the content, so that if you know where your flow is going, you know what points you're trying to hit, you know what you want to leave the audience with, and what value you're trying to impart. And as long as you have that clear in your mind, whatever words you use in between doesn't matter as much, as long as the main objective is there.
So once you've done all your prep, you're comfortable with the content, what else can you do?
Okay, so what else can you do? Well, you need to prepare, and by prepare, that means really a lot of things. It means, first of all, knowing your content inside and out. Then on the day of the presentation, it means coming in early, so that you could set up all of your technology in advance, so that there's no surprises. Okay, you could come in, and then once your audience starts coming in, you are set up, your handouts are ready, your technology is ready, and everything is there. So you can really focus more on meeting the audience and making a personal connection, so that at that point, maybe you're not speaking to a room full of strangers, which can be scary. You've made a connection with a few people, and that can help alleviate the fears as well. And
have you got any of your own personal little tricks up your sleeve?
My personal, well, first of all, I will always show up at least an hour early. I have been in that situation where I've created beautiful slides, and so excited to reveal the slides and share the videos in front of the audience, and I get to the location and the projector is missing, or it's locked behind a cupboard and no one knows where the keys are. So for me, preparation is also being ready for all the things that could go wrong. So being ready to present without the slides, always having an extra battery, an extra wireless presenter, even an extra projector from that experience, an extra projector if necessary. Just whatever could go wrong, think about it in advance and prepare for it.
Suzannah Baum, public speaking expert, thanks very much for your tips today.
You're welcome. Thanks.